welcome to 996 to Howl. It is very unfortunate how we had to have such a sour game right after the magic that occurred Monday night. And when I say the term magic, I mentioned it maybe in a previous video. The magic of we reacquiring Scott Wedgwood 4 years later and the same, result of ending a 11 game winless streak and then, Mike Smith scoring in a game, Mike Smith's all-star shenanigans where he scored from the other end of the ice. I mainly talk about goalies, but you could throw in Bunting's hat trick or Connor Garland's just surgence into the league after getting called up for the Tucson Roadrunners. We've experienced a lot of magic. And again, Monday night, just straight magic. Karel Vejmelka ties an NHL record for most saves in NHL history in their first career shutout. Coyotes road shot 46-15 Monday night. They got 13 shots in the first period Tuesday night against Minnesota, and then way more offense and juice in that first period alone in Minnesota than the whole game against Winnipeg. And they win that Winnipeg game 1-0, and then they just get trounced Tuesday night in Minnesota, losing 5-2. They're on an 8 game losing streak against Minnesota dating back to last season. Just they can't solve Minnesota. I think Minnesota is too much of a scoring threat. They're top three in the league in goals for. You can't play like you did against Winnipeg and expect the same results against Minnesota. Minnesota knows how to score. They can score with skill. They could score with screenshots. They could score with tip-ins. All they want to do is score, and they execute, and they're very lethal. I remember last season, just you can't give Minnesota any time and space. They'll just dominate you and execute and score. Whereas Winnipeg, they're struggling lately. Past 7 or 8 games, they're averaging about a goal and a half per game. So that type of rope-a-yote, as we like to call it, works against a team like Winnipeg. Saturday night, they faced Dallas. Again, this was three Central teams in a row. The first time I experienced that, I missed the Nashville and Chicago game a couple weeks back. But three Central teams in a row. They played a great Saturday night home game against Dallas. They ran into a hot Dallas team who just beat Carolina last night convincingly 4-1. They lost 3-2. They slept for brief periods, maybe in the first shift and last shift of the first period. But the Cowboys went toe-to-toe with Dallas. They had their offensive opportunities. The shots were very close, and it was a good game. They were in it the whole time. Couldn't count them out. They had great offensive chances, and they were just one shot, one goal away from tying that game. They didn't deserve to win. They probably deserved a point. And then, I already talked about that Winnipeg game, how they just had nothing going for them. And it just happens. I looked at the moneypuck.com website, and out of 1,000 simulations, 90% of the time, Winnipeg would win that game. I thought that was fairly low. I would have thought it would be like 95 to 99% Winnipeg would win that game. But no, you do that game over 1,000 times, Cowboys will win it 10% of the time. Pretty remarkable. I don't think so. I think, Cowboys will lose that every single one. But yeah, against Minnesota, it was a tough game. Keller is wearing the alternate captain A on his jersey 3 games in a row. He's been on fire. 9 points in 7 games. He was electric against Minnesota. Looks like the only player who was trying to make things happen. He's getting Kessel to move too. Kessel's starting to show some speed and show some confidence with the puck when entering the zone. Before, he would dump and chase or just do nothing with it. But it's good that Keller and Kessel are pushing each other. It's more Keller pushing Kessel, but it's good that Kessel's playing with some good line mates. Hayden, I don't know. Fisher came back. I don't know why he's on the second line. He's sort of like, to me, that Yaskin type player. He's better than Yaskin, but he's slow, big body, and you have Krause there as well. I just don't think Krause and Fisher should be on the same line. I would rather Fisher on that third line. Erickson and Roussel got back-to-back games with points. The Dallas game and the Winnipeg game, they were pointless against Minnesota. Yeah, I mean, kudos to Roussel for scoring those goals. I mean, that Erickson pass to Roussel for the game winner against Winnipeg was the slowest cross-crease pass I've ever seen. I still don't know how that went in, but I would like Fisher on that third line with Roussel and whoever they have there. They have Larson back in the lineup, which is good. Now the Zingel's back, Larson's back. They scratched Galchenyuk and Ladd against Minnesota. I would like Galchenyuk in the lineup, maybe not as a centerman, maybe play him a winger. I liked when they had Hayden, Krause, and Galchenyuk. That's some good offense. You have Krause to do the dirty work. You have Galchenyuk, who's an offensive threat and could snipe a shot if given time and space. And then Hayden's a playmaker. I just feel with Hayden, Fisher and Krause don't really complement Hayden well, and it's too much of the same on your wings, Krause and Fisher. So other than that, the road ahead is still tough. They got Vegas, Florida, and I think Dallas again. So it's going to be tough. It's a tough road. They're going to, struggle against these teams. I want to see how they fare against Vegas. Vegas still hasn't broken through to be top three in the Pacific, decidingly. So they're having some injuries, but I just would like to see what type of team shows up. It's been that game against Minnesota. It was just rough and hard to watch. One of those tank games, and hopefully sooner or later the team starts to figure out Minnesota, because every time they faced a Wild, it's just a blowout. It's just unexciting and not entertaining, and really gets you down on the team. But they fare well against other teams that are not Minnesota. They haven't faced Vegas or the Avalanche yet, who are two of the other boogeymen from last season with Minnesota. So hopefully they fare better against those two teams. If it's just Minnesota that gives them problems, that's fine. But I assume Colorado will give the Coyotes some trouble this season. With their lack of talent and what have you, the Coyotes have. So that's it for me. Such a great night Monday. A good game Saturday. Just sour taste in our mouths from that Minnesota game. Not, it's not Wedgie's fault what happened Tuesday night. Just the team wasn't in it. Their legs, after the first period, it was just a sleepwalk, and just to try and get the game over and done with. They tried to make a comeback with that Strawman goal down 4-2, but Minnesota's lethal. They answered quickly, very quickly, to just shut that down and give no hope to the Coyotes or their fans watching the game. So that's it for me. Thanks for watching. If you like what you see, spread the word. And as always, thank you for your support.